Hey, Josh here. So I'm going to show you the EHAB platform and really specifically the mitigations dashboard, which is on the left here. So as you can probably guess, the mitigations dashboard is all about trying to help you identify the best mitigations that you can make on your project to save weather days and ultimately to save time off the baseline. So in the table here below, we've listed all of the activities that have weather days associated with them and that are pushing risk down. So weather days here is before any mitigations have been made, how many weather days are associated with that activity. And then on the start delay column, the pre column is, well, how many subsequent weather days are building up behind those activities. At the top, you'll get a summary of min, max, P20, P40, P80 of any mitigations that you've made and their impact on the project end date. So in the min scenario, it's actually knocked off a day. In the max scenario, the mitigations have actually added 2 days. And at the P80, we've knocked off 1 day. You'll also see if there's been a change in the number of activities that are actually been impacted, as well as a change in the actual activity weather days. So those are days in which an activity would have been delayed. So the way that you actually use this screen is, first and foremost, you check on the top right, are you working with the plan that you want to be working with? So on that drop down, you can change to a different plan if you like. It will default to the main plan. And the main plan is either the most recent plan you've uploaded or one that you've then specifically chosen to be the main plan, which you can do so in here, in that tab. And then to actually make some mitigations, you'll notice here. So basically, we'll show you the thresholds, the pre-thresholds, and you can select different types. So wind speed or hourly, daily, rainfall, whatever it might be. You can then type in and adjust that threshold. So let's say I can cover up something with a tent, and that means that I think now we can withstand a lot more rainfall. I would then scroll down to the bottom here and simulate one mitigation, or I can make as many mitigations as I like and then re-simulate that. This will then run the model looking at that new mitigated scenario, and we'll get the results up top here. So we can start to understand what's the best bang for my buck for the mitigations that you might be making. You might, realize actually at the P80 that is actually, although you've done a mitigation, it's actually added more time to the program baseline. So this is a really great way in a risk meeting, or if you've been tasked with trying to identify some mitigations to make, to do that in a really data-driven way. If you open up this printable view, then the really interesting use case here is we'll throw everything onto the screen. You'll see all of the changes to thresholds that have been made. And so you can take this to a risk meeting where you need to get sign off and approval of these costs. So you might have several mitigations that you think you've identified that will save time. And so you can use this as a way to kind of tick that off, whether that's printed or whether that's done shared on the computer as well. So just flicking back to the mitigation screen, that's pretty much it with the mitigation screen. You can also use this filter to try to highlight activities. You can toggle all activities. So by default, it'll show only the impacted activities, but you can see all activities if you would like. If you have any questions, if you'd like any help, then please, there's an email below which you can contact us on. Thanks so much for listening.